What's goody? What's goody, gang? Let me first of all do some things. I don't know why this always fucking makes my mic lower for some reason, but let's see what we got going on today. Do we have an opportunity? Do we have an opportunity today? That's the question. Well, the XY is in a pre-pivotal area, that's for sure. That's for sure. So let's see. Let's just go over the analysis that we got going on. We do have this 4 hour, but we know instantly, since this 4 hour is a bit overextended, this is the higher probability one for us to be trading from, but it did have a pretty strong rebalance, so it does depend actually, but we're gonna see. Same with euro. I probably will prefer looking at lower prices on euro, but high resistance gap looks pretty solid here. We're gonna see. I mean, this is high resistance, but I feel like, I don't know, it's not relevant. Well, we're gonna wait. So here I would definitely wait for 1 hour gap to confirm price lower. You have 4 hour, we need to wait for 1 hour gap lower, but yeah. Boom, let's see GU. Still very high resistance area. AU probably better, yeah. AU probably better. I'm looking for shorts, and we do have this to get invalidated. We look like we're buying with this inverse as a sweep into breaker, so we might have a chance of going higher, but yeah, not really. Gold is also looking decent to still continue lower towards this, because that 4 hour got invalidated. If you remember what I was talking about, gold is that if we inverse here and if we break below, we can look and anticipate price reaching lower, which is towards next liquidity. But again, we need 1 hour gap lower, so this can be a good setup. I do like this inversion here on UJ though. I do like this inversion, and we did rate buy side. We have an area. Sometimes we don't necessarily need an area, but we do have an area, which is this daily order block. Or yeah, this is a really good order block. I would consider this as valid. I would definitely consider this as valid though. So order block right here, so it's a valid order block. We also have buy side liquidity sweep here and here. Now we're triggering that inverse, which means this becomes very easy drawn liquidity. This becomes kind of next target. Yeah, this looking good. I do like this. I do like UG more. I do like UG more than any pair today. I do like UG. So UG, we're probably gonna be looking to trade. I don't know necessarily if I want to be trading it in in London, but I do like how it's looking. Let's go over the analysis. I do like UJ. Here we reach an area where I'm really expecting a potential reaction. That's the thing. I'm really expecting a potential reaction here. We are in a really strong area, and we raided all the trend line liquidity. Good morning, bro. Good morning. How are you today? What pairs are you looking at for this day? And yeah, we swept this buy side, which was my objective, and now if we inverse is pretty much meaning I would actually prefer getting an inversion here. Inversion meaning we reach towards this is kind of very similar to UJ. Yeah, very similar, except UJ already inversed. But yeah, we can also continue. That's not forbidden, but I just don't want to be trying to trade from here. I would want to trade buys from here if we reach back into this sweep. We sweep the sell side here, so it's kind of iffy, but yeah, not realistically gonna look to be trading. So here I would prefer trading buys of the discount AVG. Trading up top here is risky. Yeah, I like UG. Me too. I like UG. Looking for some shorts to target this here, low resistance. Yeah, I do like UG. Out of all the pairs, I do like UG. DXY is still kind of in the middle, in a middle state that I don't really like. So I would actually prefer inversion and looking to target that POI, or waiting for that POI to get hit. So we do have to wait on the XY, which is probably going to be happening on Euro as well. Us reaching back into that 4 hour. Let's see. Yeah, I do really like this 4 hour again for a retest. I wouldn't like this looks also good. This order block looks also good, like has potential of just holding lower, but it's a bit weird. Like if you think in terms of premium and discount, we see where premium and discount is. So probably still the best choice and the highest probability one is us waiting for this 4 hour to get mitigated, and from here we can look to anticipate lower prices, probably to target the sell side and reach overall this overall right here is my higher time frame draw, and I expect when we reach that area to be starting to react higher, right? So the why it's risky is because first of all it's high resistance. Why it's risky to be looking at shorts right now. It's high resistance, first of all. Second of all, it's a bit overextended, so I would still like to see that retracement come in. We are in a relative high resistance zone. It's just about positioning ourselves in the best scenarios here. We did inverse strongly here. It's still risky to trade, so I would still wait for price to retrace towards that 4 hour, which is this. Definitely is the most high, even though price can leave of this range here and of us looking like this really good order block here. I still think the better choice is to wait for price to come back into the area. This order block here looking decent, but I still want to see price retrace. That's kind of it, because the order block doesn't have a lot of strength if we look purely at price action, right? And if you look again premium and discount, we need to position ourselves in the best high quality scenario, meaning we have to reach back into the 4 hour. So that's pretty much it. Like we're gonna of course watch Euro, but I'm not gonna be looking to actively trade it, not right now. AU is looking a bit better. I do like AU a bit more here, but we are printing that 4 hour and we are in a pretty strong like breaker block here. This candle here is a pretty strong breaker block, and we did take external, retrace towards internal, and potentially continue going lower. But yeah, let's see what this bitch is doing. Yeah, still very high resistant area, and I would say in this case like this, because we're so high resistant, this is an inverse. I think we had something really similar yesterday when I backtest. This is the area we currently reached, so definitely kind of expecting some type of reaction from this area, which is why again this is where we reached. Definitely expecting some sort of reaction from here. It's that simple. We do expect, and of course range looks balanced here. We do have the small here, but again still the higher probability one is up top. Especially since we are in a strong area, this is definitely where we're gonna waiting for that rebalance. And that's pretty much it. Like we don't need, and this looks like a really good sweep. Euro doesn't look like it necessarily will sweep this high, but GU definitely looks like, and we have buy sided. This looks like a good short here. Very good short, very good potential short here, and high prices. So definitely gonna wait for this area. We ain't gonna trade before that, because this high looks very vulnerable to get swept, and from there we just trade. We see here we already printed a small 1 hour gap, and now we're kind of following up on that inversion. So if we want to, we can even look at buys, but we don't really have like a massive sell side sweep here. We do have these, so we're gonna see like a buy would be smart here, because we just have this really nice liquidity, but it can also react off this. So it's a risky play. Of course it's a risky play, so we're gonna see if we want to do it. We did reach this low right here, which means we retrace, right? So on the 4 hour we did reach a pretty strong point that rated previous liquidity from here. So pretty strong point overall in price here on AU. That meaning like keeping shorting here with not enough confluence, it's very risky. So what we're probably gonna wait for, I think this is an inversion, right? Is this to get inversed? If it does, it's highly likely we continue lower. But trading AU trading AU in London is usually very low probability, so unless we see something really clean, we don't want to be doing it. But yeah, AU the same as the other pairs. We reach external and now we are rebalancing, right? But it's good because we do have this 4 hours. So out of all the pairs, we see that AU made the most proper retracement and already sweeping this high, but that means it's also stronger. So but we are also printing that 4 hour. Boom, boom. So we already rebalanced compared to the other pairs. AU already rebalanced the area we were looking at the other pairs. So that means this is probably the only pair that we're looking to be trading out of these 3 in London, because it already rebalanced to a fair point in price. We see we're in equilibrium prices, so AU already rebalanced compared to the other pairs, which makes it valid to be traded, but need to see the follow-up, the inversion. Oh, I think I forgot to put my thumbnail on this. I'm gonna do it really fast. Boom, 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 boom. But this looks good. I don't really like this inversion though. That inversion doesn't make me necessarily comfortable, I would say. Doesn't make me necessarily comfortable, but it's high, right? It's high. We don't have to be trading today. We don't have to be trading any day, but we're just kind of willingly choosing the higher quality setup, which is definitely, for me, is definitely this UJ here. Of the sweep of this high, really good on reaching lower prices, but I don't want to see price really give an entry in London Open, not before. But I do like UJ. DAX is again like already left here, already swept Asian lows. It's probably just going to be continuing higher. It's definitely, I mean, looking at price, we did hold bullish for the flow here, so very likely we just continue higher here on DAX. Boom, 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 boom. Very likely we continue higher because we held bullish PDs. Let's see hourly. We do see that we already left from, yeah, this is definitely bullish, and this is pre-voided. I would say we actually print through this and reach for the highs, but it does depend. But overall, we're definitely looking bullish. Sadly, we already left. This could have been a valid trade to be taken in London, but we already swept Asian lows and we already mitigated that area, which makes it, of course, invalid. And we formed a really strong low here, really strong low. So that these are good signs for being bullish, except that our trade idea basically already happened, already mitigated hourly AVG, already swept Asian lows. So we cannot potentially really be looking. Depends upon what 50-minute really prints. We do have this inverse here, which we might rebalance, or we might rebalance also this. But yeah, we're gonna see. This is decent, but it is again still slightly risky because we are in the premium of the range. If you look at price, we are exactly in the almost 0.7 of the range, which makes it risky, especially when we're range bound, right? When we're range bound like this, it makes it risky. But we do have really nice buy side liquidity here, and the range is pretty voided. But I don't really want to be kind of forcing a trade, if that makes sense. Here UK does look like it's gonna print bearish, like straight off the bat. It does look like it's gonna print bearish of this. But we gotta see. Okay, let's see what happened. This is a weird fucking inversion, weird pattern. But yeah, 4 hour doesn't really offer a lot of structure here. We just like left pretty strongly of that. Now we're kind of invert. It's like it's weird price action here on UK. Weird as fuck, bruh. Weird as fuck. I'm not even gonna write anything here. What we're gonna use is hourly. So we have buy side liquidity sweep into hourly gap. I would say we're reaching for this low resistant low. But we do also have this here. We have buy side liquidity area. It's kind of weird. It is weird, right? Because the area is here that already got way through. So buy side liquidity into hourly AVG, would be confident in us reaching lower of the trending Asia here. But it's definitely not the cleanest setup of all time. Definitely not. Definitely not the cleanest, but it's going to be one of the pairs I'll be watching today. Gold, I do want to see some lower intent here. I'm still confident that we're reaching lower into the sell side on gold. I do like gold. It's one of the pairs that I do like for today to be actively traded, but it's going to be definitely New York. I do also want to check economical calendar to see, because I don't fully remember. I think we have some news, and yeah, we need to wait for this, but after this happens we can definitely get a trade. We can be trading London today. No real news. We have JPY at 9:30, but other than that, we had JPY at 9:30. So confident, and gold reaching towards that sell side. So it's right here, especially since we inversed. Boom. All I need basically here is either a gap lower on the inversion, similar to the how the fuck do I say, to the Euro USD pairs and the rest. I'm just waiting for a 1 hour gap lower, pretty much it. But UJ, I do really like UJ. I'm not gonna fucking lie. We have that 4 hour or that daily order block, however you want to call it. We have this really good 4 hour order block on UJ, which makes this is probably the only pair I've been looking to trade in London because it looks very high quality. A really good order block here. That's what I'm gonna write on the 4 hour. And we do have a 4 hour bullish AVG, but I'm really confident in us reaching lower. Boom. Let me remove this. Let me remove some of the drawings because the shit is nasty. We just rated buy side, so this is where, what do we expect? I would actually expect us to take these lows. Look what we have here. We have sell side. I would actually, since range is pretty balanced, I would actually expect us to reach sell side here. And we reached the external, and at this point I'm really expecting price to start rolling lower, potentially to external. I do really like the inversion. This is a very low resistance liquidity run. We should be happening really easily. This is very clean edge. I really like how we're looking here. That's gonna be it, but I do want to see us hold and give me an entry. If we don't, that's completely fine, but our R is very limited here. We don't even get 2R, but I do really like this idea. So UJ definitely becomes, this is how an A+ setup looks to me, right? We have 4 hour order block. We set all this buy side liquidity here, and we also recent buy side liquidity, and then we're followed up by the 1 hour inversion here. 1 hour inversion, 1 hour gap getting printed, low resistance liquidity, higher time frame equal lows. Like, it makes a lot of sense for me to be bearish here, and this definitely is an A+ setup for me. But we're gonna see what we're doing, right? Euro and the rest. Euro definitely has to retrace. I don't want to see it come back into this wick right here. Same with GU. I really like here. There can be a very like short-term short here to be looking to target the retracement, but I don't really want to be trading retracements at this point. It can work, but I don't want to do it. So both Euro and GU need to take time to retrace. Gold, we need confirmation lower. Tax, ugly as fuck. Definitely not gonna be the pair we're looking to trade. I'm probably gonna monitor, but yeah, not it. So to conclude, we're basically looking, Hiruki is really weird. I don't want to be trading it. This definitely isn't a tradable pair, but just for fun we might be watching it to see what it do. So I'm definitely waiting on this UJ trade. Even if it gives right now, we might actually be executing this, but I would take it. Yeah, I would want to potentially see the price retrace to this order block and then break, because that would offer me a bit of a better R. But it does depend, right? I cannot take entries potentially now because the entry is formed pre-London, and that's what I don't do. I don't take entries formed pre-London. There are times when it works, of course, but it's looking really good. I do really like the sweeps. These are, for me, the best liquidity sweeps you can get is when we raid wicks, right? We see here there is a wick. These are the best liquidity raids you can ever see when we raid wicks. I don't know why they work so well, but apparently this is the best liquidity raids. So on the rest of the pairs, we just gotta wait, right? We just gotta wait. The only pair that I'm realistically looking to trade for London today is gonna be UJ. And that's pretty much it. I don't really like UJ on reaching lower. We can target this inversion, or we can take our main TP on the inversion, and we can of course leave runners. This high resistance zone is already mitigated here, which makes it lose a lot of relevance, which means we can actually target these equal lows as the next target. And considering where we are in the range, this is the place where we might still continue bullish intent. And this is overall my higher time frame draw, which is also equilibrium prices, like perfectly overlapping. So this idea is solid. We're looking for first take profit around this inversion, because price still has potential of continuing higher from here. But as a final target, we're looking to target this higher time frame draw. This is our high time frame draw, this is our low time frame draw, basically. So yeah, I really like UG. This is one of my plus setups right here, but we gotta wait for like something proper for London. I want to see London break. I don't want to see breaks pre-London, that's for sure. We're gonna see my intuition is really signaling at this order block right here, so I might want to see price come into that and then we break below the inverse. That would be kind of perfect, and then we can take something like this with a stop loss above the order block. But we gotta see what it's doing here. I do like how we're looking. I do really like higher time frame. This is definitely an A+ setup for me, so this is what I'm gonna look to be trading. We do have this 4 hour, but yeah, does it matter? Let's think about it. I wouldn't really say it matters. Just show resistance liquidity. The fact that we inversed, it doesn't really matter. We should have continued off that inversion higher if this 4 hour would have mattered, because the 4 hour is already mitigated. It's a big ass wick, so it's low resistance. We see price already held it twice, so now this PI loses maximum relevance. If we start breaking lower, it means we're basically reaching on the lows. We did hold like twice that 50-minute FVG, or that 4 hour, however you want to call it. So now it becomes really pivotal. We either inverse this, turn it into a breaker and continue higher, or we hold it and we break lower. That's kind of, it becomes pivotal right here. What we're gonna do next dictates what we're gonna do on the next couple of candles. Lower time frame dictates what direction we will choose, basically. But this now is a pretty strong low, which becomes a really strong market structure shift as well. In terms of Asia, did we have proper rebalance? If we take Asian range, we did have a proper rebalance. If we take this, we still had a proper rebalance. So we had a proper rebalance no matter what. Okay. Wow. UK is crazy. UK is crazy, bro. So we're waiting on this. I don't really like UJ. Do really like it. Let's see what we gonna do, gang. Gang. What's going on, gang? A bit weird 1 minute price action here, I would say, but it is nice how we inversed here, held it lower this place, but it might continue higher, to be honest, and turn this into a breaker. Doesn't necessarily invalidate the trade. Again, doesn't invalidate the trade. It just almost said the N-word with no reason. But yeah, sir. I feel like, I don't know, I still think G was very likely gonna reach back into the high. So yeah, it's like a low, like a very, how do I say, like low quality buy, I would say. But we don't really want to be buying. It might be like an Asian raid and we just like straight up start displacing and inverse that low. But is it valid? Hell no. It is valid, but I still want to wait for the highest quality area. This is what a profitable trader does. A profitable trader always positions himself in the highest win rate scenario, right? And the highest win rate scenario here is us waiting for that really proper rebalance, that really good POI that we have in higher prices. Considering we're also in a high resistance area, we definitely have an increased chance of seeing that retracement higher. But it does depend. If we break, this is a demo at most, but yeah, Asia looks retractive. This can be a really good neo reversal if we continue going higher here. This, so Geo for me, Geo gold, and that's kind of in. I do like Geo a bit better on looking for shorts, but we gonna see what he do, right? What he do, what he do. We gonna see. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna be back in a couple of minutes, but I'm still waiting on this. It's kind of weird right now. I don't necessarily know if I like how we're looking right now, but yeah, we get to war on that inverse, that's for sure, and that's basically our idea. This is high resistance, so we kind of have to take some partials here. So at most this is our target 3R, but yeah, we do have to break, and it looks weird. It doesn't look necessarily like it's gonna break. So I'm gonna wait on this because I do like that sweep. I do really like sweeps like this, bro. Like when we sweep that wick. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I really like sweeps like this. Don't want to be forcing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We didn't break the lower yet. We didn't break any lower. I mean, fuck. But it's all good though. It's all good. It looks like Geo's gonna break lower, and this is definitely good entry of the fractal high, but can't really be taking this shit right here. It's pretty garbage. I wouldn't really target the lows because we do have the hourly AVG or the hourly inverse, but on the demo it's gonna be fine even targeting lower like this, like a 2R, but it's gonna be a demo once again. I do like the fractal high, but still waiting on GG to break. I still like GG, but we kind of rejected the sweep, so now it's a bit unlikely to be still holding lower. It looks like we're holding this 50-minute AVG higher, but still gonna give it time. Okay, UK ended up not giving a shit. Okay, so DAX ended up retracing that area though. We said that what was it, a 15-minute rebalance, a 50-minute VG, 1 minute entry, not really, but it is what it is. Yes sir, yes sir. Euro looks like it's the weakest actually, so meaning very unlikely we take this high. I would say Geo's a bit more likely to be taking that high, but still don't really want to be shorting off an order block. Do still want to see higher prices. Do still want to see that right there, despite our liquidity getting taken. But we're just gonna be chilling. We're gonna watch, so we're gonna see. Now this breaker block got inverse, which usually makes a good buy, but yeah, I'm not gonna take it. We're just gonna wait to see if this gets invalidated. Now it's a strong structure, so it's very, even like if we inverse this right here, until we inverse this, it's really risky to be taking shorts here. So we just gonna be watching. Looks like still doesn't really look like a setup right here. Again, maybe we're gonna have for New York, so just about patience. Yeah, we cannot really force again. Skill or expressing skill is also skipping the trade if the market calls for that. So we gonna see. Tomorrow we have NFP, so I don't know necessarily if we're gonna have some trades, but just be patient, bro. Like, opportunities are always present. You just gotta be patient, right? You're always gonna go through some times where you don't have any trades, especially in August. I realized in August is usually when the market is slightly misaligned with my setups. I previously lost a 50k in phase 2 in August because August naturally is not that clean. It's probably the worst month of the year in terms of like PA, but it is what it is. What can you do? Just filter. So especially we know that this period usually holds lower probability setup, so we just really need to be aware and really be picky about our trades and only choose A plus setup. No matter, we should be trading A plus setups no matter what, to be honest, every single day. But yeah, this is looking nice. I do like the short, except yeah, we're shorting off an order block, and I still prefer on not doing it because of high resistance, because of sweeping all the slows, because of not having the proper rebalance. What it's probably gonna do in cases like this, what usually happens is we do play bearish, but then we start reacting higher, so we have a bearish intent. But this looks really good. The entry looks really good, to be honest, but what can you do? It looks really good, but I'm not gonna FOMO it. I have to be on demo because again, we also need a follow-up here. So yeah, we cannot be trading actively. We did have gap to potentially gap, so we have gap to gap, but in this case, since the gap is big, we did came into the order block. Yeah, but still gotta be a demo. But it looks good also for a live trade. I'm not sure, like, this is kind of convicting and kind of like contradicting myself, because I'm not sure, like, the entry looks extremely good, but I don't know whether I should be taking it or not, because let's see. Yeah, it's just risky to be taking off these lower prices. I cannot lie, it's risky, so I'm gonna be demoing it. Gonna be demoing it, and it is what it is. Because we just are in high resistance, it's still likely for us to be retracing towards that. 4 hour the order block not valid. We do have a 4 hour AVG, but I don't want to be trading over extended setups. But the entry looks extremely good, I'm not gonna lie. And also fractal high, like this entry looks extremely good. I don't know if I want to be trading it though. Because we're overextended, we're basically in 0.3, definitely in 0.3 here. I don't know whether I want to, but the entry looks extremely good, so I don't know. Really fucking good entry. The entry extremely good. Intraday profile, Ray de Asia. 50-minute VG, strong rebalance here, but again, we technically have gap to big ass gap, but we're gonna use the order block in this case. Higher time frame liquidity, not really. This is a strong low, so yeah, it's still risky to be taken. It's gonna be a demo, or it should be a 0.5, but it is what it is. Entry extremely good, extremely good. I have time to be thinking whether I want to take this trade, but yeah, it's just overextended. I don't know. Again, it looks like a very fucking good setup, except there's one thing which doesn't make it an A+ setup, is that we are overextended, right? We're overextended lower. We're in 0.3 here, but the entry looks extremely fucking good. What this happens usually in cases like this is we have a reaction lower, but long term we're still gonna go higher, so meaning we're very likely gonna be failing. I don't know if I'm wrong, but yeah, still gonna be a demo trade. It looks like a very good trade, but sadly higher time frame here, my intuition kind of filters it because we are overextended, and I do want to see price still come here, and from here we're gonna have way more higher probability sells. Gap is pretty big with the react of the order block, but yeah, in theory it's a valid setup, in realistically it's not. But yeah, it does look like a really good fucking entry. That's yeah, but a trade is way more than one entry, right? It's way more than an entry. A trade is not an entry only. It is higher time frame a lot. So we gonna see UJ completely rejected sellers, but yeah. This is looking very good as an entry. We have the fractal high being built here, the triple top. This meaning our stop loss is very well protected, and then we inverse, which is where our entry is on that inverse. Pretty much easy low resistance lows here to be running towards, but once again, I do want to see us retrace within this, and from here on also high resistance, way more probable near reversal. But yeah, it's gonna be a demo. Even though the entry looks very good, I got stopped out so many times because I would just really like the entry in higher time frame would be kind of shitty, like in a state like this right now when it's overextended, which it makes it risky. And yeah, a trade is not only entry, that's for sure. Probably euros following up on the idea, but we see like Jew's way weaker. Yeah, Jew's way weaker here on being lower. But yeah, what can you do? UK ended up massively printing bullish, probably with DAX following. But yeah, we're gonna see if we give it a trace. Even if we don't, that's completely fine. I really think we're going lower here, but yeah, what can you do? Nothing much. Nothing much we can actually be doing about this. And we already like massively displaced. I still think when we massively displaced, we also have a deep retracement, which makes this entry still valid, I would say. But yeah, we also don't have a liquidity rate. We do have Asian highs, but Asian highs here is very kind of irrelevant. We go see. You're also retesting, I think, a liquidity level over that resistance area. But I don't like trading off these very big gaps, to be honest. Decent market structure shift, but it doesn't look like, I don't know, like it's gonna hold long term compared to how Geo's looking. But yeah. Sadly, no trade to be valid even today, but what can you do? Just be patient. That's where profitability comes from, being patient for your A plus setups. So even if it is like a Ray Asia, valid Ray Asia, in theory valid higher time frame, it's just that this is definitely the highest probability area. And considering where I'm sitting on the account, being in pretty much deep drawdown, we don't want to be taking lower probability trades. We only want to position in higher probability trades to maximize the chance of recovering the account from drawdown, right? And this is not only should have been done in drawdown, this should have been done at all times. All times, every time you trade, you should only position yourself in the highest quality scenarios. 0.5 trades are not worth taking. Not worth taking. Don't really look like we're gonna retrace for now. We might actually be just like massively melting lower, which is a chance. We see that happening, and we just hold this 1 minute lower. But what can you do? Really, I really like this. Like, this is why I really like the entry. Like fractal high, which means also triple top into inversion. Really fucking clean. And inversion is really relevant because it got rebalanced once here. And yeah, UJ sadly rejected. The sellers off here. We respected FVG, which instantly switched trend. And I did say this, like here, how we behave to this FVG is gonna dictate what we're gonna do next. And that's pretty much what happened. Us holding it dictates we're gonna go higher. Us inversing it would have dictated us reaching lower into potentially this high resistance area. But it is what it is. We're not gonna force anything. We're still waiting for the A plus setups. Gold is still stalling. We might have some New York setups today because let's see, we have like some news. We have these, so we gotta necessarily wait for these. Like these 3 news, we gotta wait to see what happens, and then we can be trading for the rest of New York. And also, like, a lot of setups are kind of in the middle of in the process of forming. So yeah. Okay, UK massively dual higher. It looks like AU might inverse, so AU might be. It is actually one of the pairs I can be looking to trade in London, but we know how AU behaves. Not really strong movement in London, so it will require us to inverse here and retest and then look to target lower. But yeah, still gonna wait on that. So UG already kind of falls. Juice does valid. Juice clearly the weakest. AU is the strongest. Euro somewhere in the middle in terms of strength. In terms of strength, this is how kind of we're being situated at. So when we want to short, of course, we want to choose only the weakest pair. Morning, bro, morning. How are you today? Are you planning on trading anything today? So yeah, when we have, this is the power of usually like analyzing strength in pairs and choosing only to trade the weakest one, because we see clearly AU is very strong here, very strong compared to GU. And we see that in the displacement already, it's a very big difference in strength. And this makes a big difference in RR as well. Very big difference in R. But yeah, we gonna see. Still choosing to wait for these to get swept. But we gonna see what it do. AU somewhere in the middle. It can hold here, but I don't know, intuitively it just doesn't look like it's gonna hold long term. It looks like it's gonna hold this higher. That's what it looks like to me. Compared to GU, yeah, like compare the displacement on GU to the displacement on Euro. Euro just looks retractive, same as AU. GU is the only one that actually looks like it's going lower. UJ rejected. Gold stalling as usual for London. UK just this is the power of like London indices. They fucking fly on London Open. But yeah, no real trade. We're gonna be waiting to see. You're just gonna be chilling. Like, it's slightly annoying, yes, because I didn't have a trade for 2 weeks now, and this is usually what happens in August, to be honest. But what can you do? It is slightly annoying because everyone loves trading, everyone loves being in a trade, everyone wants to make money. But if the market just doesn't present opportunities, you need to stay unshakable. You cannot really get affected, you cannot get angry, you cannot get frustrated and start forcing trades. It really matters to stay in that state of not caring about the fact that you don't have any trades, because skipping a trade or not having a trade is the trade itself, right? Because For example, when you skip a trade, when you skip a losing trade, you actually make 1%, right? On a losing trade, you would take minus 1%, but you deciding to skip that trade, you are break even for the day. So minus 1% compared to 0 is actually you making 1%. So skipping a trade is actually winning a trade, if that makes sense. Skipping a losing trade. So yeah, that's just kind of how I see things right now. It's the candles being the same color helps. I feel like it's harder to trade that way. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of preference mostly. I think it's preference, but I would still recommend having two colors, because having the same colors is hard to. Sometimes there are gonna be candles like this, and if there's the same color, you're not really gonna be able to differentiate whether this is buy or this is sell. So I would still recommend having different colors, or like opposites. You see, I have gray and white, so, or blue and white. So yeah, definitely have different colors, and I would recommend not having not having green and red, because I feel like these colors have like a psychological effect, and you see red as being bad and you see green as being good. So yeah, like see euros not holding for now, and AU is definitely gonna hold higher. I mean, GU, I don't think it's gonna retrace realistically, considering how weak it is compared to the other pairs. Yeah, it's probably just gonna hold off here of the like the most recent AVG, and just hold towards this, filling this gap. This is low resistance avoided. It's probably gonna be easy on taking that low, or you might also have some reaction here on Asian lows, but I don't think long term. And this could have been again like a scaling, but you don't want to be scaling like this. Like, look at this stop loss. You're having your stop loss in an AVG. Not good. Not good, but yeah. There's a lot of times you're gonna have to skip trades. Thought the candles were all white. Ah, no, bro, no, they're not all white. It's like a blue or a gray, blue gray with white. No, it doesn't really help you. I did have I think I have another. Can I change my layout? Yeah, I do have, like, I had this as well for a long time. These are nice colors as well, but I don't really like white anymore. These are kind of the classic ICT. It's kind of good because I feel like sometimes you need a switch in color, but it hurts my eyes, so I still prefer it being like this. We're probably gonna hold this trade to TP, and that's it. Maybe could have marketed here, but usually this being a really pivotal area usually gets retested before going lower, but I guess we don't sometimes. Let's see if we get a demo trade here on AU. On Euro. I don't want to see if we inverse this 1 minute, but it's just like a test of my skills, to be honest. It's not a trade I would be taking, like a really short scalp like this on the inversion. Yeah, she was gonna fucking hold. Like, even on the 1 minute, like, it's such a big difference in strength when you choose the weakest pair. Like, look, even on the 1 minute there's a difference in the displacement. Look at this couple, like, few last candle. We see AU being the strongest pair. It actually printed a bullish fucking gap. Oh my god, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy. And look how GU broke below the low, Euro didn't break below the low, and AU printed bullish. Like, even on lower time frames you see this difference in strength, and it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Okay, we should have maybe marketed here, but it is what it is. I'm still gonna place a limit, but yeah, demo once again, because we ain't having the setups that we want, which is fine. Just targeting, like, I don't know, some low resistance low here. Technically I should have waited for the candle to close here, but yeah, already tapped us in. Normally you should have waited for this. I should have waited for this candle to close below this, making the trade invalid, but it's a demo, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But normally should have been waiting for the next candle to close below the inverse. This technically invalidates the entry. How we closed here, on this. I mean, yeah, we didn't close really close below. It's weird, but yeah, this invalidates the entry, this candle here. But yeah, I still took it, demo, but shouldn't have taken it. Realistically, we should have waited for the next confluence of reaching lower. But yeah, it doesn't look like much today. And UJ just massively switched bullish. I would have still expected lower price action, but there was a chance we still hold this 4 hour and yeah, this 50 minute. He hold it twice, which is interesting. But yeah, definitely no trades. This is very risky. Right, very risky to be taking entries like this. But on the demo is fine. Limit test if you want to. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm glad I'm happy you think that way. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you until now, Gordon. Okay, looks like we're holding that. But yeah, sadly only demos. I feel like in the future I do wanna start scalping. I feel like I do wanna start scalping in the future, but right now it's just practicing on the demo. Low resistance liquidity can definitely work more, but since AU is the strongest, I would expect some sort of like equilibrium rebalance and still hold that, which is exactly where our take profit is. If you look at price, exactly an equilibrium pricing here. Let's see. Yeah, Geo's not gonna come back. Definitely not. It's just gonna melt. Geo's very likely gonna take this low, while the Euro is very likely gonna react of equilibrium because it's stronger. And AU is definitely very unlikely to even go lower. It's probably just gonna stall around here and then go higher. Or it's weird. How much pips is this? 10 pips. Easy scalp, but we're already rejecting of this, I feel like. Right, of this, yeah. Not a great sign. Usually should have inversed. See how the bodies respected that shit? It's like crazy how do you say that word? Accuracy, okay. See how the body's like, that's kind of crazy. Oops, like it was like this technically, but we're just gonna pretend it's like this. Yeah, this is bad for the entry, so it might still hold, but it's not the greatest sign you could ever want. Of course, we would have wanted to see some sort of like next candle close below, retest, continue. This is usually bad. Usually. look again, like, bro, it makes such a huge difference. Look, bullish candle on GU, look at the bullish candle on Euro. And look, okay, AU actually was weaker here, but always makes a huge difference. We're gonna see, let's see DXY. I haven't really checked DXY what it's doing. It's basically holding this gap, but for me this is a big ass gap. I don't want to be trading gaps like this unless it gets confirmed by another gap higher. Like, these are usually like gaps. There's two things that can make them wrong: either too small of a gap or too big of a gap. Like, you have to find that really sweet spot. Like, this is for me still too big. I would say this actually is proper size, even if it didn't really end up holding. Like, gaps too big often, this is a gap I would like actually. Gaps too big very often act as liquidity and as voids to get printed through, compared to yeah, smaller gaps. Not too small, not too big. It's kind of a sweet spot. That's probably the best gaps to be trading. But yeah, it's just not a lot of action today. Could have been an entry here, but too risky. But yeah, we're gonna just watch today. We're just gonna be watching. I'm gonna go probably eat something because my stomach is shouting. And yeah, we're gonna see what we do today. Not really like a heavy action. Yeah, it is annoying, but what can you do, right? It's August. August usually is like this. Like it's already have been 3 years in the market, and already like almost every August is like this. August usually holds a lot of setups that failed, a lot of consolidation, a lot of resistance. So the smartest way to be doing things in August is filter as much as you can. Filter low probability trades and only trade those really high quality ones. Because yeah, um, August is not the greatest. It's probably the worst month of the year, even worse than December. I would say it's definitely the worst month of the year. This August for trading. The pairs don't really print high resistance. Only around news I feel like they print. But yeah. Bum pum parum pum pum parum pum pum para 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 parum. I still think that it's still gonna hold because we just formed that like fractal, triple top, whatever you wanna call it. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat some, and yeah, we gonna just be watching today. We not gonna do shit. It doesn't look like it. Maybe for New York, but for London, doesn't look like we having any proper setups. Sadly, again, 2 weeks. What can you do? What can you do? Just be patient, bro. Just gotta be patient and wait for those setups because they're gonna come. The market is always gonna offer opportunity. It's just about you. It's your responsibility to wait until they show up. Alright, and stay disciplined and stay patient, which is a really hard thing to do. It's not easy, definitely. Because every time, every day that passes, when you don't take a trade, you start getting itchy and you start wanting to take a trade more and more and more, and you start getting frustrated and so on and so forth. That's why it's hard because we're human, right? We're not robots. That's why it's hard. But yeah, I'm gonna let this shit run. Okay, now we invert. But still not a great rejection. We should be holding this higher, but it might react off these lows. Like we can clearly see how much better GU was to short, and we knew that because of higher time frame and how Euro is struggling really hard to be breaking now. But yeah, that's why, and we get the proper proof why you always want to choose the weakest pair. Look how hard Euro is struggling to break lower compared to GU. GU is just retracing. It's making really small candles, just retracing to bullish PD to bearish PD raise, while euro, I don't know, way choppier. Euro always, like, not always, but right now is in the middle in terms of strength, which always kind of, being in the middle always kind of makes buyers and sellers be almost equal, if that makes sense. That's why we see big bearish candle, big bullish candle, big bearish candle, big bullish candle, because it's in the middle between strength. But yeah, we gonna see this anyways, a demo, so we're just gonna let it be. It's not a great rejection, definitely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, shit. As I said, this page got massively invalidated because we're showing you the strongest pair. But we limit testing. That's what demo's for. See, maybe Geo will come back into the area, but yo, not really looking to trade today. Definitely not. Yeah, just being patient. This looks bearish. Should have the it looks bearish. Just gonna limit test once again with demo here. This looks definitely bearish. How we slow down first, we rebalance here, now we form this gap here. Definitely looks very stacks, but yeah. Geo still stays valid, the entry still stays valid no matter what, but yeah, still a demo. August price action. It's not bad. The price action isn't itself bad. It just doesn't align with my setups or with my how I trade. But it still requires patience. Still gotta be patient, right? It's so important. Like you have no. I mean, you probably have an idea, but patience is way more important than I kind of made it to be when I started out trading. I didn't understand how much importance actually patience has, and choosing to trade only plus setup. That's what genuinely makes you profitable. Genuinely, that's what makes you profitable, because I just said this a lot of times. This is how you go from break even to profitable, by trading only plus setups. Because we got data on how much of an impact it actually has trading only plus setups and trading every valid setup that it has. 1% month compared to a 50% month. God damn, that's a big fucking difference. And I will always say this every time I get the opportunity. I will always say this because I myself underestimated how much importance trading a plus setup actually has. Maybe there's people that actually kind of think the same way, that what you can trade a plus setups, you just risk higher when they're happening. Nah bruh, she ain't gonna work like that. You gotta be trading a plus setup every time, and your trade selection needs to stay intact every single time. No matter if you're in drawdown, no matter if you're in profit, you need to be trading a plus setups if you ever want to turn profitable. If you ever turn profitable, trade a plus setups. If you ever wanted to be, trade a plus setups. That's pretty much it. It's not complicated at all. But yeah, see DAX. I forgot about. Okay, DAX already got rejected, but I wanted to execute. Oh shit, not buy, sells here. Just limit testing once again, and that's what demo's for. Limit testing the shit out of this. We limit testing, but also it's important to not build bad habits from back testing, just from demos. So keep demos as limit test. Make sure that how you're trading on demos doesn't come with how you're trading in live, because it happened to me previously. Where I would start taking trades on live, how I would take on demos, and that is definitely not achieved. So make sure whatever you're trading demos or trading your limit testing, like trades like I've been taking here just to test out whether I'm right or wrong, make sure that these trades, this bullshit trades that you'll be trading on demos, don't come with you on live. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Today we have a lot of news, but we'll see if we have for New York. So for New York, we have potential for kind of a lot of opportunities, right? But let's think about what is our opportunities. We look like AU's inversing. I would be down to short AU here to be just targeting like previous daily low or today's low. I would UJ at this point I would not short unless I would not really short UJ, DAX and UK, hell nah. So probably Euro has to come here for me to be trading it. So if we do, that's great. We look like we have a profile for New reversal, but it would require price to print a lot. Same on GU, right? Same on GU. I'm gonna make a video soon. This is what I'm gonna make the video about, is trading only a plus setup, because bro, I misunderstood this for my whole break-even phase, which was 10 months. I thought that, yeah, what do you mean, like trading E plus setup is not that important? But it is. The reason for being break-even is because you have unnecessary losses, and to go from break-even to profitable, it's about removing those unnecessary losses. How do we remove them? By only trading A plus setups, right? By only trading A plus setups, that's how you remove the unnecessary losses, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, Gengi. This is goofy. This is goofy as hell. I don't think it's gonna work. It's goofy as fuck. But yeah, we'll limit testing. No, we switched. Definitely, we switched bullish on euro here. And we're playing the bullish range. We didn't come into equilibrium. I mean, we did come into equilibrium, which makes sense. I was right on that part of coming into equilibrium. But yeah, Jewel still looks very good. Again, this is where high resistance starts. This is something really interesting that I see about prices, or the theory of high resistance is really interesting, because high resistance starts where we initiate the bearish intent or where we switch trend, meaning high resistance is here. Until this area, this is low resistance. Below it, this is low resistance. And that's where entry is in high resistance. Even if it's on demo, it doesn't matter. Bow. Yo, bow. Let's see what we gonna do on Daxi. It doesn't look great, but doesn't look bad either. It's just weird. That stretch, when that stretch hitting too good. When that stretch be hitting too good, gangy. Yeah, this also looks decent, but yeah, it doesn't look very bearish. Blurrish. We gonna see. We go see. Yeah. What are the plans? Tomorrow is Friday. So what are the plans? I'm still probably gonna dwell a bit more to social media. I do want to make some educational videos. I should be probably going over all this major lessons that I learned into break even, and I noted them here. So I should probably go into this. Should probably update. Yeah, as I said, break even comes from unnecessary losses, which is either inconsistent approach, mindset issue, low probability trades, which were our case lately, or not taking partials. And it's true, you gotta fix all of those things to actually be going from break even to profitable. Otherwise, you hell nah won't gonna do that shit. But yeah, let's go back where we was. Yeah, looking hella bullish here on euro. We have a really nice switching trend, really nice market structure shift. Gap here. This could have been a buy, but no confluence, no gap, no nothing. I mean, a really small 50-minute gap, but other than that, no real confluence to be looking at buys here. But it is looking like it's gonna work. It is looking like it's gonna work. These buys like easy London highs target right now, but yeah. Yup, sir. Okay, DAX also massively rejected our limit test entry. But yeah, probably we're not gonna trade today. We'll probably end the stream soon. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna see you in New York. Maybe you have something in New York. And yeah, no real trades once again today, which is fine. We just being patient and waiting for the proper setups. That's pretty much it. We're gonna wait for New York and see what it do. If we had a setup, fine. If not, we're still gonna be here watching price. But for now, I don't really want to be here. To be honest, I really want to take a nap. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna focus a bit on doing this video, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take a bit more time, since trading is not really active. We can use this time to be doing other things, like, I don't know, in my case, focusing on social media a bit more, doing some tweaks on my streams, doing some thumbnails, making some videos, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So this was it for today. Not really any valid trades again.